Last up, we have got the wonderful, the American Caitlin Vine.
What's up, guys? Hello. I normally don't bring a notebook with me, but if I'm completely honest, I'm bi as well, polar. And I accidentally took a little bit too much of my meds today, so I kid you not. I know you guys are kind of, hey, that was judgmental. No, it's fine. I promise I won't hurt you. It's all good. You take a little extra. You're just really, really happy. A little bit of shakiness, some dry mouth. If I knew drugs were going to do that to me, I would have taken the fun ones. But I'm here nevertheless. It's a great time to do a show, especially when you're on a high. And you guys, the energy flowing through you is just blowing me away right now. Yeah, but it's okay, because it's Christmas. It gets cozy. It gets comfortable in places. I understand. And I have been, oh man. I'm actually, fuck it. I'm changing it up. I'm living on the edge. Being in Reading, I fucking love Reading. I've been here for a while, so I'm a Reading local now. You know, I love Purple Turtle. I love it. I really do. I just, anywhere that you can go where the name of the place sounds like the disease you're likely to get from it is just top notch, I gotta say. It's good though, but so recently I've been traveling into London a lot for shows, which is great, but the hard part is that I don't know if anybody travels to the station quite often, but there tends to be quite a lot of charity workers. Just so many. And I love it, and I love that people do that work, and it's great, but I'm a comedian, man. It's not synonymous with baller. You know, I'm not really able to dish it out, let alone afford food sometimes. But I love my job, so I go to London anyway, and it's wonderful. But on the way there, I just feel terribly guilty. Like, quite often. I feel like a very guilty person because I want to help, but I physically can't. You know, and the biggest problem, I think, is that on my way to the station recently, it was as if they had all just had, like, a huddle up. You know, like they were about to go out to battle. And next thing you know, like, they disperse into a flank, like a fleet of tire spikes in a car chase, you know, just like, and then they're all standing there just like with their goddamn smiles and their cheer. Just so happy and ready to shake your hand. You know, so I've developed new tactics with it, which is the scary bit. Because that makes me feel even worse, that I'm avoiding it now, you know? Like there's a bob and weave move I've adopted. You know, like I'm dodging people. I'm about to join a parkour team so I don't have to fight Parkinson's. It's a scary reality, guys. It's true. And I want to help, but every time I turn around it says save the cats, save the bats, save the rats. For fuck's sake, God is still trying to save the queen. Let her be. She's like 142. Let her go, man. I mean, that's terrible to say, you know. Thoughts and prayers, Queenie. But seriously, though, it's a new age. No, but I do enjoy Reading, despite the fact that I feel very guilty all the time. And Purple Turtle is a wonderful place for me. I met my boyfriend there. He's a real gem. He's also a vegan. Correct response, Rune. Correct response. No, vegans get a lot of shit, because they deserve it. But they get it for the wrong reasons, right? Because there's a lot of comics that give shit to vegans, but none of them that I found live with one. Guys, the flatulence alone is just, it'll blow you away. It really will. But then again, for a group of people that sit around eating broccoli and beans every day, what the hell else do you expect? You know what I mean? And so I went out to dinner with a bunch of our vegan friends, you know, because they travel in packs. And all I fucking did the entire time was sit there and bitch about how lonely it was. You know what I mean? Like, it's so lonely being a vegan. It's so isolating being a vegan. And I was like, dude, of course it's fucking lonely being a vegan. You're walking around in a cloud of your own stink all day. No one wants to hang out with you. You're a nightmare. An absolute nightmare. I love you, but you're a nightmare. You're like, you know, at the end of the day, you're the Nickelback fans of the food industry, guys. You know, like, look at this lonely plant. Every time I do, it gives me gas. That was purely for my own enjoyment. If you didn't get it and you're not on board, I don't fucking care. I do this for me and I'm having a great time. But it's another thing because everybody has their causes. You know, there's people out there raising money for everything on TV. They're wanting us to save the donkeys. I never thought I'd want to save a donkey before, guys, but like, I called. I did. I called and I got more information on the donkeys. I did. You know, I'm supporting a vegan in my household despite all that it's done to me and the amount of toilet paper I have to buy. It really is exhausting. Jay gets away with the poo jokes and I don't. Fuck, man. Are we maxed out on those? That's fine. We can sweep them under the rug. This train's still going. But when I went back to the States, I think that was kind of the turning point for me because most of my friends in the States are uber feminists, like super fem. They're all about it, and I commend their dedication. But I thought I was a bad feminist, you know, like I don't have the witty comebacks to things, and I don't know all the facts. I didn't sign up for the newsletter that apparently we all get. You know, it's just, I didn't grow up in a household where feminism was something that we had to rail against, you know, like fuck the patriarchy. Like my dad, I could have told my dad that I was gonna be a fishmonger in the desert, and he would have been like, you go girl! Just relentlessly supportive. And so I thought I was a bad feminist. I thought I was just bad at it, but I just didn't understand. You know, I've just never had to rail against it. You know, because you can't be a half-assed cause supporter. It's not an option. There's no entry-level cause supporting. You know, you're either raging against the dick machine, or you're just a bag of dicks. That's it. Those are the only two options. So I went to a march. You know, when I was in New York, I went to a feminist march, and I was like, all right, here we go. I'm doing the thing. I'm on board. I got this. And my friend rocks up, and she's totally naked. Just like head to toe. She's covered in body paint. So she had somebody like paint her whole body in all of these feminist woes. And it looked really cool, don't get me wrong. It looked awesome. But when I tell you, the crevices that were painted, I hope that whoever did this has a medical degree. Because there were areas that I didn't even know existed that were covered. So she looks really cool, but fine, you know, I'm on board. Then as we're walking, there's another lovely chick standing next to us, and she's got her nether regions out. And they said, you don't own me. I was like, fucking right, I'm a comedian, I don't own much. But my favorite part of the entire thing was this one woman who totally stuck out to me. Not because of the message she was sending out, but because she had this big old fucking vag on the top of her head. A felt likeness of a vagina on her goddamn head. You know what I mean? Like, I thought the thing was gonna fucking eat me alive. It was huge. And the thing that really threw me off, but this woman, the reality is that this woman went to a craft store on like a day off, and she bought felt. Like, she brought the procurements necessary to create a giant vagina to stick on her head. Like, what? Is that your Wednesday? You know, I don't know how I feel about that. You know, like, unless I'll take it on board. The only way I'm gonna make one is if there's another royal wedding. I can't help it. I would have to do it. It's the only way forward. But so this girl, she's got the big old vag on her head, and stupid me, I can't keep my mouth shut. And I whispered to I didn't whisper, who am I kidding? I don't want to lie to you people, you lovely people of Reading. But I said to my friend, I was just like, God, I hope that girl has a membership to Costco to get a tampon to fit that vag. And she heard me. And she turned around and she was just like, excuse me, do you use tampons? I was like, I don't know what the right answer is. I don't know, man. Just use you. And she was like, because I just really feel like they silence our vaginas, don't you? I was like, girl, I don't know about you, but at that time of the month, I'm not worrying about a chatty vag. Not the first thing on my list. But I've come around to it. It was an interesting experience, to say the least. It really is, because I've learned a lot about myself now that I live in another country. And, you know, it's not totally unlike America, but I definitely am a lot less hostile and aggressive, so long as I'm on my meds. But it's true, when I'm back in New York, I'm a vicious human being, like, just straight out of the gate. You know, like, and it's not over anything serious. It's just getting a cab. You know, over here, I'm a civilized human. I wait in line for a cab. I let women and children go first. You know, like I might even throw in a kidney on the off day. You don't know. Anything can happen. You know, I apologize for the weather. I am assimilating, guys. I'm so close to being you. But it's different being here though, because in New York, I take one step out of Penn Station. In New York, I'm trying to hail a cab. I'm kicking people out of the way. I'm like, finish him. You know, like there's tourists in my way. I'm like, fuck you, Francois. Go back to Climateville. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. We're just gonna roll with it. But anyway, it's a terrifying thing because now that I'm here, I'm very nice. But when I'm there, I'm a different person. And since I've been here, it didn't really dawn on me until I got robbed. Because I come from knee deep in Brooklyn. Like Jay-Z and Biggie grew up in my neighborhood, Brooklyn. You know, and it's an awesome place, but you gotta be a tough broad to like live and survive in the heart of Brooklyn sometimes. But I come here and I was in East London, and you know, amongst my hipster brethren, I would think that I wouldn't stand out. But nevertheless, there were these guys on a motorcycle, and they came onto the sidewalk, and they swiped my phone out of my hands, rode off into the sunset. Just fucked right off. I couldn't believe it. I was standing like against a wall. I'm not waving it around like a signal flare. You know, like I'm just Googling tapas bar. As any basic white bitch like myself would do. And as I sat there and they took it away, they rode off into the sunset and they turned around and they waved at me with my own phone. And my hand went up. I'm a different person, but I'm happy to be here, and thank you so much for having me, Reading, and letting me play with my new material.
What I really liked about that, sorry, when she waved, you waved back. I thought it was really, really sweet. It was really nice. That's it. That's our first half done.